All right. Hi, I am Colby. I am Codameron. I am going live secretly. Surprise! Ah, we're live. Um, let's get this Top Cut stream moving, shall we? Let's get people going. Where's my share the stream button? Copy. Come here. Go away. I mean, no, it's this and it's this. It's a couple of things. But hey, oh, we're doing it. We're live. We're live. We're
I
live.
know you are.
Go to. Oh yeah, we're good.
I'm already there.
Hell yeah, we are. Amazing. We're doing it. Amazing.
How do I like this stream? Boom. Big light. Yeah.
Yeah, go to Codameron.
I got him on YouTube already. You do not watch and drive. Dangerous. No, she's gonna watch. I'm gonna drive. That's smart. I wouldn't want a woman driving. a woman driving killed my best friend. Dude, she kind of still funny, but sad.
Come on. Where is Luke?
I don't know. If I wanted to say something, I have to stop her. It's a pleasure seeing you.
Peace, man.
Have yourself a good one.
You too. All right, still testing. Still, someone make sure that we're here. Hey, people are here. I am here. There's no promotion for this, and no. I just want to make sure that we have something. Oh, interesting. I'm live, but I'm not recording? Do I even have that setting enabled? I didn't realize I had that setting enabled. Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. We're doing things. We're sharing. We're networking. Look at us go. Copy. I got this. I got this. I got this. We're here. How many people do I have watching? Hey, I've got 2 views. We're doing it. Just setting up. Hey, it's Mom. Mom's here. I love it.
Jason Saunders, Evan DeBaney, Daniel Collins, Jay Smarter, Ryan Costello, Aiden Peters, and Wes Wexler.
Yeah, we're doing things. Okay, we're here. We're doing it. Hey, we're all here. Hooray! Oh, Lisa Bernard is a top fan? Of course she is. Thanks, Mom. All right. Let me make sure. I think I've got everything set. Something like this. Let me get my text back. Oop, oop, Hey, we got our chat, we got everything. Hey, it's all working. Doing it. We are all here. We are all doing it. Amazing work, team. Do you have this? Oh, I do have this. I did it. All right.
Wait, so give me that.
All right, I'll be right back. I gotta do some things. I'll be right back.
Wave your hand under the camera. Wave your hand under the camera. Under the camera. Thank you.
All right. We got games. We got people. We got Brett and Gee. What? No, I wanted this one to be Brett. Gee. It's Gee Cohen, right?
Cohen.
Cohen? Brett.
Yep. Team Deep Dive Games.
You guys can start your deck.
Okay.
Did a really cool event.
Yes, there we go. The other one. It's first. It's in there.
No, we found the S first.
I love Arm to the Teeth, man. It is such a cool card.
Yeah. I was
All right,
trying
I'm
it
not
because
going
like
to cast this
with
because I'm very close to the
Hot Shot Blaster not
but
hitting
we're
vehicles.
going to enjoy this game.
sucks.
Yeah, it's interesting. 2 hot shot. It's like best card in the deck. It's only 2. What is a Commence Patrol?
FYI, guys, we are live. You have audio on the table. I'm not commentating because I'm very close to you. If there is a judge call or something, an issue, I will bring that to the judge's attention. Okay? I don't think we have that many people, but we're recording. Thank you, guys.
What is a Commence Patrol?
It's for one, put a card in a player's graveyard at the bottom of their deck. If you do, create a 2/2 X-Wing token.
What color is it? Sounds yellow.
Yeah, yellow, white.
I don't think you're going to play this versus me. Kind of good.
Yeah, it's for the Kylo matchup.
Yeah. Like he's a good stats, it just can't be played on card. Man.
Yeah. So many big things in the main.
Anakin is the pilot one that never pilots anything.
Yep.
Sure.
Just want to confirm we're good to go. All right, Brett, good luck. Have fun. Good luck. I'll send this back.
Yeah, we don't know
Excuse me. A mysterious hermit.
I was getting these out, trying to figure out where the rest of the tables were. You got a place set of lightsabers. Fill out your place set of lightsabers.
Oh, thank you. Go on base.
Of course. Drill Sergeant, 3 in darkness. Nine.
3 dice.
4 damage. Smudge strike.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Alrighty. Colby, can you hear me?
Here.
I can hear you.
Unlucky.
Hello. Yep. Mic check. We are live. All right. Excellent. So we got Hantu Blue versus Quillen Town.
Ooh.
A classic, a battle of
Blue
titans,
Scouts.
if you will. Are you joining me out here, or are you watching it from over there? Or are you? Okay. You're good. So we have Cassian developed for the Hantu Blue. We have a Kira and Quinlan on the Quillen side. So the 5 resource play was, I guess, using context clues. Oh, so there's a 5 resource play. No, we're on 6 resources now. I'm also trying to figure this out. Oh yeah, no, the it's super fun. I mean, it looks like Anakin Pilot.
That is.
It is Anakin Pilot. Okay, confirmed.
Played Mysterious Hermit on turn 1.
Mysterious Hermit. Let's go. Okay. Because it pings and then he deals 1, so you can do some. You can get past Secret of Sages and all that sort of fun stuff. You can also ping all of. I guess if you run into a 1/4, you can then. You know, I do that when you just play it. Yeah.
Big thing is that it kills Gungi and it kills Graphies.
Yep. Cool. A little bit big hedge there, but I dig it.
Okay, see you later.
Oh, very nice. Congratulations. Got it's a serialized Obi-Wan. Is that what we have? Nice. 42. Congratulations. Very cool. Heck yeah. I'm just gonna hang out in the corner. I don't need to go to my car. Oh, super fun. You know, Guy was just talking about how much you liked Obi-Wan Sentinel. So fun to see that in action. Righty. Right now we're settling in. And I just had a heck of a day. We got 2 Boston's in the top 8. That's Guy and Reflex. We got Brett from Deep Dive Games. That was the game store that run a TV3 tournament on the same weekend as the Planetary Qualifier, unfortunately. Super cool idea for a tournament, but rough timing.
Is that an Obi-Wan found off of? Ooh, big Obi.
All right, this looks like a pivot to me. Let's see what the Quinlan's response is. Got a big sentinel on the ground, lots of restore, and a 2-3 on the Quinlan side. We're developing a looks like a insurgent. Yep, it's a guerrilla soldier.
I'm pretty
Like
sure
the 3
Obi-Wan-
damage he is thinking about it.
I'm pretty sure Obi-Wan is happy to eat that. Stop the guerrilla soldier from readying. Anakin can't even swing in and kill this Obi-Wan. Colby, am I coming through?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Let's do this.
It's a little bit of a hurdle for some of the early game because Target Town on Kansas gives up a lot of advantageous lines, but the value of the Hantu Blue deck is still very real. Target Town is not able to match up on its own by any stretch of the imagination. You have a change of heart. That is this must be a cyber game?
No, this has to be game 1.
Has to be.
No, absolutely no way.
Change of heart, main guy Quinlan. Let's go. It caught me off guard. That's how I went down in the Kissimmee 5K. Was Frank gonna change of heart on me? Okay.
Hello.
So I turn a warrior, get a little extra healing.
All right. Hey, everyone. It's Colby. It's Codan. We're here for some hype passing. This is the on the spot, last minute. Let's do the top 8 stream. We are in the other side of the race. Just standing around my phone, giving you the commentary that you're looking for. This is game 1, top 8, hype. Brett and BJ.
Grab your chair.
Let's talk about it. Who's winning?
Well, so we just had a change of heart on Luke. You know, a massive thing right there. The Obi-Wan has been holding it down for the last couple times, though. It's a giant Sentinel. Has been a pain for our Quinlan player to punch through. But change of heart flips the script a little bit, you know? Take their unit, kill their own unit with their own unit. So.
Everyone thought they felt back, which is kind of becoming removable sleep.
Does he have earbuds in? 'Cause I can't hear you on through Discord.
That means no one can hear me.
Yes.
Okay.
I can hear you when he was standing next to you. I think he has his earbuds in. I think that's where we're at. Okay. That'll also be fun with you. Practice. Let's go. Okay.
There's a whole thing going on.
Damn, Brad.
Make it happen. Anything is better than we're here. We're here to give you the commentary that you want. Anyway, back to the commentary. Yeah, this is their game, man. We'll be tight for game 2.
Is that Obi-Wan still on the board? That man is holding back the floodgate.
No, Obi-Wan died.
Obi-Wan died. Ooh.
Change of heart, Luke kills Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan shields the advances the itinerant warrior. The question is, he is at 24. He only has 4 more to before he loses. Is Luke swinging for 6 to one of these units, or it's Deepa, that's Sabine, that's Anakin. There's so much here. What do we do? What does Guy do? We're rooting for Geek to the bottom, but it's been a good game.
Of course.
And on
You
our
can trade here, right? Like, I mean,
I like looking for how does the player behind get out of this one, right?
Is this another Obi-Wan coming in?
I'm pretty sure he's only on one. Might be on two. He was pretty positive.
Yeah, so that Yaddle is going to get some value here because there's a lot of Jedi on board. But I don't know if he has the actions available to swing with all of them.
Yeah, I mean, Hot Shot last week. With the board hours, he would take on the other. He would just action with all three.
Yeah. Just going to take out that Gorilla Soldier.
Okay, no Hot Shot Blaster, but still double check.
Swinging into Anakin.
Okay. So, Grogu, I believe it is. Cassian, yep.
Quinlan taking the Grogu.
Take the trade value.
Is Grogu enough here? We're talking about Nantu Grogu, right?
Yes.
Is Grogu enough here to get him 50 back in this? Really, I think it needs the Obi-Wan to hold on the fort.
Yeah,
Otherwise, he's going to take damage from this.
I agree. We have to do Hot Shot Blaster. Blaster for a while.
Ooh, he's going to play Luke to defeat Cassian.
And that's game one.
Yep.
Okay.
So I think he's at 24. At 25.
No, he's 26. He didn't take 2 damage. He already down, but there's 2 damage from the Anakin unit.
Now that we're here in game two and set up in our casting booth,
Casting.
question to the panel.
Okay.
What cards in here are unique? What cards are going to actually break this matchup? Which deck is tech for this matchup after game one?
We just saw Change of Heart and Anakin Pilot. These players are bringing their own sides. So,
and also the Obi-Wan. I think that the Obi-Wan, I think he's well positioned in the meta right now. If you're worried about space, I'm going to other answer. Obi-Wan has a nice 4/6, and the power really is nice for him. As long as you have to play him on 6. I don't like him as a. I don't like him.
really? 4?
I think as a 4/4, he dies to too many things.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, that's when you're able to cheat him out as a 4/4, that's also your leader deploy turn. If Obi-Wan does die, that secures a larger Han unit, which is going to help you clear the board faster, you know?
I will say the Han unit is really bad.
So,
Yeah, but that is a 5/8. Is that enough?
You're saying we should run. Okay, we'll table that one.
Yeah, no. No, he had very positive things to say about Obi-Wan. He just actually mentioned it in between rounds, and Andrew was on, I think, one of them as well. So, no, Sentinel's a very powerful keyword for sure, because it's one of the few ways to cheat actions without actually cheating actions, right? Like, you're now telling your opponent what they're allowed to do. Like, they have to attack into your unit, which now gives you some more flexibility in how you play your turn. I have to come in a little look, you pass a lot. It's kind of yeah, I know what you're gonna do. Like you have a few ways to play out the turn, and you're gonna have to do it.
One of the things I like to look at in this matchup is how heavy into space will Quinlan commit. If they're playing ailing into Falcon Line, then unless the Con 2 player has kill cells or the rotary, those two can really run wild. That's why you saw, I remember Paul Heaver, I was looking at his list in preparation for this weekend, and he just ran the entrenches. I don't think that he is on the make the leaping back in the 6/6 with the 4. It's actually what tools does he have as a Han 2 player to deal with stations?
Well, I think the strength of Han 2 is the value that you get from the Jedi on the ground. You're able to play Itinerant Warrior on 3. You're able to get that healing if you are able to get that Force as well. You have Yaddle, you have Grogu. You have a lot of these healing effects on the ground. And I think if you're able to just take over the ground, I think you'll be able to find these spells later to deal with these Falcons and these A-Wings. And Quinlan won't be able to pressure you as much on the ground at the end of the game, where the guerrilla soldiers aren't going to do anything, their depots aren't going to do anything, their Hans are going to hit the board, take out one thing, and instantly die. So I think that if Han establishes a ground game early, all he needs to do is just find those few kill spells, take out the A-Wings, that Falcon, and heal everything up.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like it's a race, right? So like the value of like Eternal Warrior, getting 3 immediate value and 4 value every turn, like in Flesh and Blood, use a primary game. Every card has multiple modes. Every card is defensive and offensive at the same time, depending on how you use it. So he's very comfortable with like value theory and maximizing what your cards do for you. And that's what I really like about it too. It allows players to value cards in different ways, right? Where it's value health, value all these sorts of things add up over the course of the game.
I believe we're going into that turn 1. Oh no, you taking back up those cards? So Quinlan won. So that means it's G's choice of initiative. Looks like he's handing it over to Quinlan. If Quinlan's going to turn 1, that's going to take the Grogu away.
Interesting.
Honestly, I don't know. That Grogu would have been an absolute menace for the rest of the game.
Yeah, the Quinlan is confident in his mid game, so that's one thing. A lot of Quinlans had to build their deck around the pass thing. So that's why Gorilla Soldier, you'll find them in every Quinlan deck as you prepare for that sort of situation. What's the devil?
Yes. No. Pretty good.
Yep. 5 damage with 3 resources is better than 4 cost, and it leaves a unit that you has to deal with. Whew. Scary stuff.
That's a red 5 in space 4D. Kelly has no damage out there on the Quinlan board, but we'll see when we get units to the ground, maybe get some force units, some force throw, we'll be able to put some damage. And if that red 5 goes unchecked, it could quickly take care of a lot of Quinlan units.
Mm-hmm.
Although we have yet to see Tarkin Town out of Quinlan, I'd assume that the next 3 drop is going to ping that red 5, and the Tarkin Town is going to take care of it.
Yeah, when he got sparked, I believe he had the red 5 in that moment. It'll be interesting to see his retrospective what his hand was, because using the red 5 as to bait out the Tarkin Town there, pretty high value, but we'll see.
So we're getting a Poe here. D. Just gonna get answered by an open fire.
Look what they have to do to reach a fraction of our power. Yeah, only back I brought open fire back into my main for Tarkin Town that I expect to rise and see what that's. So treated me quite well in the early rounds of the tournament.
I agree. Open fire did a lot of work for me today as well.
Yeah, especially the more reactive you can be a strategy, right? You can save those power dark sides. When you just open fire something, you can save that power for higher value units.
Okay, that's an Anakin unit hitting the board.
Are there particular benchmarks that you're looking for in this matchup? Is there a cost curve or point of the cost curve or a damage threshold that Han 2 Blue is looking to maintain or hit before they come around the corner?
I think it's more about not. I think their end game is so much better, right? Because we're talking about like the Quinlan's rocking Han unit that dies to Anakin. Depa, if ambush is going to die, even like just Anakin. Yeah, so much of his stuff just outvalues Quinlan. Quinlan's trying to go face, right? Quinlan's trying to get that damage into the base, I think. But we had a split of a million opener for the Quinlan, so maybe he has a different idea.
And I think if that's the opener and this is the result of it, maybe the home-2 deck really just is flexible enough to play around whatever aggro lanes I'm hitting, and I'm getting that aggro value. I think he looks in a really good spot here. Still, something that change of heart from game 1. Really scary stuff. If he commits to hurt into a unit, they play the lightsaber on something. I don't think the home-2 decks are playing lightsabers right now, but he is probably a little bit scared to go too tall into maybe the loop or something. But right now, his door looks really solid.
And he's thinking long and hard about that Ahsoka discard. Looks like he discarded a Force Throw, which does not exhaust a unit. So, if I'm you, and if you were, would you just flip the Han, swing into Ahsoka, and then try to get the red 5 finished, or are you worried that Quinlan's holding up a Force Throw for you?
I think usually force throw them. I think if they force throw themselves to kill your Han, you're very happy. Quinlan has a lot of throw value, but not that much. Especially when cards that are relevant in the stage of the game. I would be greedy. I'd go for the red 5 value.
Gets Force Thrown and discards Obi-Wan.
Oh.
I think you take out the Anakin here. Take out the leader, like.
I mean, the leader's going to swing into Ahsoka this turn and try to have red 5 clean it up. So, if you hope that your Quinlan is going to be able to stick out there against the Han, that Han is going to be damaged. So, you're not in much trouble, but you are losing a lot of presence.
The red 5 really is the decision maker. I think you're right, but he does choose to take out the Anakin, and I think that's really prudent to take all the force and look out for D4.
Mm-hmm. Man, I wonder what he's got in hand to get discard.
It's all forcing the trigger. We'll slam it down. Mason, I'll slam it down. There's another force open. Just like Luke's and such.
Yeah. Luke's Anakin get on that cycle.
Quinlan to base instead of Quinlan into Han.
I think that's fine. Because you kind of force them to play a use Han ability. Meanwhile, if Han was defeated last turn, Han could play and cheat out that Luke at any time.
And this playline does kind of prevent the if you kill Han to get the Luke having full value, then you don't have the Han play the Luke at this time.
Yep. But right now, that's going to be 0 power off, and I would almost see a but that's going to be a pain on the red 5. Red 5, you're probably going to have to get that your swing in because that Tarkin Town is coming to clean you out.
Oh, the Tarkin Town still. Yeah, that's a clean play. Get the damage. Let me get the damage. This team still feels in easy control. What do you think? What is the best use of the Tarkin Town? Is it could be Obi-Wan?
We've already seen one go on, so.
How's an X-23 land speeder to ambush into Luke and Tarkin Town's going to clear out?
There we go. 2 damage from Han makes Luke weaker. You just need 2 damage to get the kill. Quinlan doesn't even need to spike. He's getting
Quinlan's back.
Right. Yeah. Ooh, that's a big turn for Brett. That's actually a really strong turn.
Yep.
And 6 resources playing the Falcon and the X-34. 2 ready threats. 2 cards that come out and do damage. Both of which trade favorably into G's board.
He's now a little strained on hand, have to find some answers quickly to deal with this Quinlan and this Falcon.
This is one of those things that happens when you build these red-yellow hero decks. You end up playing a lot of discard cards, and the question is always, how effective is that in discard? Are you actually spending your opponent's resources? Are they always top taking it anyway? looking from the bird's eye view, you really have to realize that, yeah, Gee's resources and options are limited. He does have the Anakin, which is a good play. But he is playing a longer game. That Han still has 3 damage.
We're throwing a turret. Ooh.
And that Quinlan being able to live another turn because he just isn't taking any damage. Does he have any damage on him?
He has 3 damage, I believe, from the first Han swing into him. Ooh, and that's a Poe. That's hit the board.
And we're top taking, so.
So what's the best line of the Quinlan player here? Like, there would be just do value trades every turn, have cards with strong play effects, get incremental value, and eventually, he's holding on to it later, get to the win eventually. Seems to be Brett's plan, and really I like Brett. Is there another line that I'm not seeing? Is there a more aggressive line that the Quinlan player could be playing? Or is this a foolish line that he's taking now?
I'm not sure that there's a dedicated line. I think it's just you're waiting for D to miss once. He draws 2 cards, and if neither of them immediately impact the board, he's able to fill up the board with the cards in his hand. He's able to take advantage of his units on the board. And like that. Like, we're going to see that's a lot of damage today with that Poe. It's going to be 11 damage.
He's discarding a card.
So Poe goes to base for 8 with the trigger. He gets another 3 from the surprise trigger. And sometimes just doing that much damage really puts your opponent on the back foot. Like, hey, you thought you were okay? Now you can't play as many actions. Maybe you can't play as many small units. You might play a little bit of a casting comes out of the smuggler or something. You might just be done. And that was a 0 resource play for Brett. He just pitched 2 cards from hand. I don't even know.
He played a threat.
Which playing that early is playing your hand, right? You kind of want your opponent's in a situation of like, you have to make, they have to be like, well. For me, I'd much rather have them guess so I have the price and have it,
But he still pitches 2 cards. Like, this is a huge investment. Like, you have to think that there's a casting underneath, because if there wasn't, then what else is he going to do with all of his?
I mean, he's got 4 resources up right now. I mean, all of his Quinlan has been doing is playing one card per turn. I think it was on the 6 resource turn was the first time where he played. Wait, no, he had Ahsoka throw. He had Ahsoka throw, and then Falcon X-34. Okay, so he should be pretty strained.
Yeah, we finally had the Force token for G, but not enough actions to use it. Yeah, definitely a weakness we've identified. When you build your deck on having the, with these strong Force payoffs, if you don't get the Force, get messy.
I'm trying to figure out what they're discussing.
I can't discard.
Damage gets applied.
So if he doesn't kill this certainly he's not right.
He's going to force throw. Get rid of a change of
That's going to be it to kill Poe. That was the last card.
Last card in Quinlan's hand.
Nice.
Is this a misplay? Brett's side? He discarded the Falcon and an A-Wing just now. He held the change of powerful card. He could have held on to maybe the A-Wing or maybe the Falcon to get the damage. And then just insulate it from force. Like, that's a high level of play that would be a misplay.
I mean, Han was top taking, first off. So it's a hell of a bet to make. But also, I don't think Han's played a Force throw. But also, he doesn't think a Force unit. So there's a lot of reads going on there if you want to go that far, go that deep.
And just stops the Falcon for a turn. And plays a turret.
And it seems like they're because I guess this is game 2. It is game 2. But Guy knows that he has to win 2 games to win the set. So he's going to.
And there's some time,
Yeah. And both these players are comfortable playing in 25 minutes. And they can. Obviously, there's higher stakes. They have a longer time.
Is this the board state that he needs to take this game home? Like, this was a little bit hairy. They went back and forth.
I mean, this is okay. There's a heel. Okay, that's looking really good.
So, like, the Falcon just isn't enough in space, and this is kind of that question: is Brett made this big play to go with the Poe to get the big damage and get Guy very close to dead, pitching two powerful space units. Now, granted, he has another Falcon here, but could he have gone a little bit harder into space and getting 3/3/3 every turn from the A-Wings? Maybe. Maybe he has that Anakin pilot. Huh?
What's about resources? It's actions and resources at the stage of the game, right? Like, I play the Kira, like Kira's doing nothing.
It's a very dynamic game going back and forth this time.
For sure. That force throw was absolutely, clutch. And force throw really defined this game, right? There was 2 force throws on Quillen's side, which were huge, killing destroying the Obi-Wan, and then we had the force throw destroying the Chain of Heart.
And that's kind of one of the wild things about the way that the game is played right now in this set 5 meta, where force throw is not just a card you have to play, but you have to play around it. You have to think about the cards in your hand as options and as decoys to this boogeyman of a card. And it's not in every matchup, it's not in every deck, and it doesn't define every game. But if you're building your deck around it, and if you have a mirror match like it, then even force throwing your opponent to take their force throw is a very common line that you see in these top level games, and they matter. And holding onto a card or expecting or baiting your opponent to play the force throw and getting your force lightning or your off action card for Anakin, there's so many little mind games that you get to play with force throw, and it really dominates a lot of this top level game when they're in the deck. If you're playing Boba Data Vault versus Iden Control, you don't see that.
Yeah, and I think there's a really interesting counterplay with like decks that want to go wide, right? The intuitive, like, oh, I want to go wide, get a lot of units, make my opponent respond to me. Where Force was like, yes, do that, and then like the control deck sneaking in with like the fatigue you're talking about, and against those decks you do want to go wide because they don't have people like Force.
So we're going to this game 3. I will update the scoreboard in a moment, but based on these 2 games, George, what do you see is going on? What is the story in these players' minds about what they need to do to win the 3rd game? What is the threat? Are they thinking about force throw as much as we are? Is there some other thing that might be going through their head that they have to strategize into or out of to win this matchup?
Well, I think the Quinlan's probably based off his play patterns. I think he's scared of Bruce Camps. I think he's scared of eating the force. Like, if all the discard doesn't matter because they're drawing to a turn, got to get to the move, all this snowball. I think that's something the Columbia is kind of really focusing on, based off of that turn 1 spark, the Ahsoka's and Force those on the flip turn, it's in the Poe. Like, these sorts of things are, I think that's what the Quinlan's story is. And then Guy, he knows his deck has way more value. Like, if he just lives, it's about maneuvering the teams, the turkey down, and he knows that game. Because the early spark.
What was the spark discard?
Spark discarded Grogu, which is a super interesting decision point. I think he had the red 5 in his hand, and he chose to claim instead of cheating out the red 5 on turn 1, taking Target Town, which then in Target Town had a kill lined up on Luke later on. To me, I think you take the part. I think you throw out the red 5. Probably some snowball effects with all the other discards and everything. So,
and the red 5 was very powerful and put Brett in a lot of very weird spots. You know me, George. I can't stand wasting resources. That is a 10% play that I would make. But Guy is not a 10% player. Guy knows how to play these longer games. He can look at this list and say, yeah, the red 5 with no damage is so much more valuable, and run that line.
I also don't. If I remember correctly, I don't think. I think in my opinion, just red 5 would know their turn 2. So in that case, yeah, obviously, I think that's great. But like, I have to remember the whole picture of the hand.
Sure.
But yeah.
Look, any turn 1 where you voluntarily don't play a unit is still ridiculous to me, and it worked.
Yeah.
So, I certainly have a lot of fun.
I'm saying like, so he could say like, yes, he got values from thread 5 by like trading that sort of stuff with like, but also Luke probably would have been alive.
The more interesting point here that I think we're forgetting is that Brett prioritized the Grogu. Okay, so we're into game 3 now. We see Sabine versus Yaddle. This is one of these. They bump into each other because Brett didn't get the extra ping from Quinlan. So this is Guy has force throws live. Brett doesn't have as many turn 1 and turn 2 force units, except for the Anakin pilot. That's a cool option. But I think Guy is looking for that cool force throw play, or clearly Guy is thinking about where is this Tarkin 10 going to go. Hit base, 2 damage each because of the restore. So balanced. What a great game. We're playing the good cards. I want to see the Grogu's impact. Show me a Grogu. Kiadi Mundi. So he does get the 2 cards.
Okay, so it's a very different game. Let's see. This one on two is doing on two to hold the trade-off. So we start seeing forcers on themselves and not caring about Kira and Ahsoka.
Yeah, so Guy's going to have so many more options this game, starting on turn 2, and it's weird though because Guy does just sack himself to the red 5. The red 5 gets the free value into the Kiadi Mundi while still getting its full damage. Kiadi doesn't get its for power into anything. Man, that feels so weird.
Yeah.
I think it feels weird, man. Guy is thinking about where to put this Yaddle damage. And the Tarkin count's still alive. Man, it's tough. This game's hard. I love the decision points. So Guy hits the Sabine. Now, pop quiz. George, what is going to kill this Sabine off? Why is Guy putting 2 damage into it? What's the punish?
I mean, if he wants the force throw, that could clean it up.
I think it's going to be force throw, but it's so risky. Here's Anakin unit. So now the force throw is turned on for Brett. There's the force throw.
Yeah.
Watch, if we see the force throw, that's how this game is played at this level. Falcon. All right. Do you kill the Anakin or do you kill the Sabine? Do you waste the damage that you didn't think you were going to get? He takes out the ready unit and preserves the health on his base. George?
I think we're both Kiadi Mooney. I think absolutely. Yeah, just let him force me back. The force him This is the tricky part with the attack with the Yaddle. If you force throw first, you have more options. Like you didn't need to have Yaddle with 2 damage there, right? But obviously you wanted the force token. I'm gonna guess Flatten or Warrior.
Did Brett play that in the wrong order? Why did he drop the Anakin unit before Tarkin Towning? Ooh, it's the Grogu that Brett was afraid of. Game 1. Game 2. So now the plan is that he is going to bring a guy in with 2 damage, throw it away with Grogu, and put damage into Brett's board. The issue is Brett has no units with damage on them, no units that'll really kill, and the red 5, if he is bringing units with damage on them, suddenly they're taking 2 more damage from red 5. Is it? It's crazy. It's only turn 4 with $5.
No, it's 5 resources. Yeah.
Is this too late for Grogu?
I think so, honestly, but we'll see.
At least it's a turn that spends all of his resources.
Yeah.
And we have Quinlan.
I mean, we're especially walking into the Plo Koon turn, so if you Plo Koon there, like, I feel real bad, but
Isn't 3x Plo Koon like the most played card in all of Quinlan lists?
They never but you know, it is a very popular card.
And there's Chirrut, and the issue with Chirrut is that with Quinlan on the board, Plo Koon will still kill Chirrut even if you have the Force.
He does get the 7 damage.
And okay, are there punishes other than hit him with arm to the teeth?
Arm to the teeth, smuggle.
Interesting. So that doesn't let Quinlan kill Chirrut, but it doesn't put any damage on Guy's board for him to throw around with Grogu. Interesting. So yeah, this Grogu not getting all that value that we were looking for. Maybe it can attack and get the Force after Guy does the Chirrut thing. Here's more units. Again, Guy's whole game plan here is to wait a little bit, to stall a little bit, to get to those Anakin's, Luke's, Crate Dragons, bigger. He's playing the long game. It's so nerve-wracking. Honestly, Guy has no damage on board, and the Plo Koon didn't come down. I think we're chilling. Force throw himself the change of heart to get the Chirrut. Now that arm to the teeth is looking pretty scary. Force throw back for the Ahsoka. Who do you kill? Do you kill the Anakin?
You gotta get
For the red side.
Sure. I agree. You gotta ask.
Yeah.
What if?
It is a decision point.
Is it +2/+2 or is it raid 2?
It's +2/+2.
So now the Han unit can still kill the Anakin, take 4 damage, but then the Grogu can throw it away. It's a good line.
Yeah.
And really, the Brett self-force throwing his change of heart to get that extra damage on the Quinlan hit really came back to bite him because he had to discard the Ahsoka. He could have played Force throw on Guy, but Guy has too many cards in hand, so that Guy getting wounded invisibly, that impact really showing itself. But also, now Brett's topic, and he has a couple cards in hand.
Yep. Now, I will say Quinlan generally has a lot of fun. You've got L3s, although I would assume that we aren't seeing any L3s, because that's generally a 2-drop slot, and being where the Hermit is. So that would be Cassian in the Smuggler. I mean, obviously we saw Under the Teeth, but Under the Teeth isn't going to do anything if you haven't developed the board.
Yeah.
Where does board go? It honestly, Brett lost a lot of resources there, and he still has the Quinlan. It's got 2 damage on it, but Quinlan's going back to base. We're on 6 resources now. So Quinlan to base, he has 2 damage on it. So this Grogu can just heal off the Han unit and put Quinlan within killing range of the Han.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. That Grogu, maybe it wasn't too late.
Really strong card. But we are getting a lot of life for that. He's taking 10 damage to the base when that could have been something that would have been more impactful.
I don't think the Grogu is what's costing the damage to base. I think it's the Chirrut being answered by the self-force throw for the change of heart, which is a huge commitment from Brett. And that's what really dealing the damage to Guy. Guy had the Chirrut to block the majority of the damage. And honestly, the force throws lined up very, very nicely for him. Oh, what? Commencement Patrol.
That is Commence Patrol. As a Kylo player, I'm covered. I think more of a Commence Patrol today.
I love this card. It is so flexible. It is any card in a discard pile. It's just like you can't play it turn 1, basically. But in this meta where having 1 heroic card in your discard pile in that Talzin deck matters, Commence Patrol can just snipe that out. It's a very cool card.
We would never see Cassian coming out.
Guy hasn't played a lot of resources. This seems like Guy is very stable in this match. He's taken 14 damage to 2. But as we saw in the last couple games, having 14 health is plenty for Guy. Quinlan doesn't really have that explosiveness like the Kylo deck does, or even the Boba Fett deck does, where really it's doing 3 damage every turn. It's not really going to have something off of an empty board.
I believe it was a 6-resource Force Lightning to answer Cassian.
I love that. Now your Anakin's activated fully. It can take out this token.
Commence Patrol number 2.
Take them both. Honestly, getting the Force Lightning out. That's wow. Guy getting the Force Lightning under the Commence Patrol. So now I flip it. George, How does a Quinlan player win this game? That's Depa?
That is Depa.
Depa. How does the Quinlan player win this game?
I mean, you haven't had he's that good. You expect that sort of things. I think in general it's going to be some combination of just like using smuggle, getting card advantage, just set up some.
He uses Grogu to
Nice.
step his damage to kill the X-Wing. Yep.
Nice.
Love it.
Man, Grogu.
Yeah, you just all those and then have like Falcon plus the Bright Strike kind of.
So you think that he needs to get the within, let's say, 6 to 9 damage, and then surprise kill him.
Yep.
Okay, and that's a part of why you play Surprise Strike. That's why that's one of the most played cards in this game's history, or something. It's the highest overall win rated card, or I don't know. I'm just making stuff up, but I know it's a very good card. It's beaten me before many times.
Yeah.
Everyone's playing Hot Shot Blaster now. Going next.
It's funny, like it's amazing to see the Hot Shot Blaster just being that action cheat and pump that is so powerful baked into this game's design. That's just how this game works. Is that oh man,
To the base.
the base
Get the Force.
huge. Honestly, good turtle. This Grogu hit the board on the 5 resource turn, or the 4 resource turn. It hasn't taken any damage. It's been moving damage, but it hasn't been touched. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I thought for sure we were going to see a Pokemon, but it doesn't have one anymore. So.
Patrol.
It's a real,
9 spot.
that's a real play.
Yeah.
He spent a lot of resources to put that card in there, that the Falcon in there, that lightning in there.
And now Lightning's gone, so Anakin's back to being somewhat less broken. But with that, we have a developed Luke. So Luke and Grogu, just like the movie. So.
Huh?
Mandalorian?
Yeah. I guess that did happen.
That's an Anakin. I mean, at this point, if you're Gee, you just start going phase, right? Like, you don't care.
Yeah,
You got a Luke.
And now you're Luke swings your swing for 9 value. Yep.
Oh, I never updated the round score. Oh shoot! Hold on. This is game 3. Oops.
This is game 3.
Oh man.
Yeah,
We got a Poe after the Luke was exhausted, and Anakin no longer kills him. So, alrighty, we got a full chamber for Gee. Going down to Obi-Wan.
Ogdo. And now we have the full commit. I've got my board. You're still developing.
No.
I've got the value.
Yeah. Just get on Grogu. Yeah, so now we're presenting 16 damage on units. Obviously, the Obi-Wan's going to take a bit of a hit, but that's concession looks like. Yeah, all that gas. Entrench, Force Lightning, ready with the answers. So, really cool decisions there. Fun seeing the Grogu do his thing, even though it was late, and Gee just took it. Oh. Very cool. So let's see what. So let's see. So now in top 4 we have a Hantu Blue, a Boba Data Vault. Do you know who else won Crispy Onion Tales, or was it just you talk? Okay. You know what top 8 was? I know the Townsend was undefeated.
Yeah, so there was a Townsend versus a Sabine, and the other one was another Hantu versus a Vader Fort.
Okay. So it looks like the Townsend went down. they reported. So Sabine won that one. So now it's Sabine, Home 2 Blue, Boba Data Vault.
Boba Data Vault, and the winner of 1-2 versus Bear.
All these meta decks, wow. No, they're all very powerful decks for sure.
Yes. It's going to be better than a crate.
Yeah.
And especially, especially locally, Boston's have a little bit of a reputation. So, I guess you can come in for trolls show up. I was definitely there as a
Yeah.
respect to the Kylo deck. Fairly flexible card in general. But
Fantastic set. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Kobe.
Thank you.
Who casted?
that was some awesome gameplay for sure. Well, it's always having fun, man. I've never not had fun.
Always having fun, man.
Well, we're not so early. Oh, we are? We're still recording?
I hear us.
Oh, no, he's swapping over to Facecam interview with Gil.
Hey, Guy, what's going on? Hold on 1 second. I gotta mute over here. I gotta do this. Guy, congratulations. Great set. Here you go. Tell me how that went.
Oh, man, that was a clencher for sure. You watch it? You watch it?
Yeah, we were watching it.
Yeah, I think the best moment is when I do the force throw and it discards the change of heart to kill the Poe. He's one card in hand. I was like, please, like B's like a big one, and not only is the big one, it's like the biggest one possible, right? Like in that moment. So that was like the best feeling ever, and I think that is a. Maybe he keeps like a small card because it's one of his loose. Maybe it was too greedy to keep the change of heart there, right? Because then he gets like the Omega 2-for-1. But I was very happy about it. I think that's the play of the set for sure.
Excellent. Yeah, I think that's the only mic. But let's do it this way. But so yeah, my mics are all weird today. Come on. Anyway, what I was watching is in game 3, he threw a change of heart at you.
Yeah.
And he killed your Chirrut. But then you got his last card out of hand, which was the Ahsoka, to kill his red 5.
Yep.
Right. The force throws and what cards to keep and what cards to throw and when you think your opponent has the force throw. We were talking about that a lot. I was thinking about that a lot.
It's just humongous, right? Like I remember playing against one of our teammates, Junior, like a French youngster.
Yeah, shout out to Junior.
Shout outs to Junior, who was just such a good player, right? And we were playing the game like this, like down to the wire, and I need to hit that force. Like I leave him with one card in hand. It's like late in the game, and then surely, like, and that time I didn't need to deal 5. I needed to deal like 3 or something, right? And I do it, and it's a hot shot blaster. And I was like, no shot. And he's like, yeah, I held it for like 4 turns because that he's like, okay, I just don't want to get scammed by force throw. I was like, this is a genius.
Yeah, and I think that the more I see the games being played, one of the things that you do is you try to line up the force throws where any amount of damage matters. You know, to kill, you need to kill a shield. You need to deal something 1 damage to something. The difference between 1 and 2, if you're watching that and you're playing at this level, you kind of know I have to hold a 1 because if he does 2 damage, it matters. And that's when you even start seeing these salvages and these porgs come out, these fine additions. Yeah, like what if you play these cards that have 0 and you don't get the shield and you don't get the damage? It's force throw is that strong and that ubiquitous that it is game warping, and I think it's still healthy for the game. Like I think it's okay to have a strong card that is the game is kind of really based around in a big way. And as we can see, the meta is still very healthy. It's still very diverse. Force Throw is a very strong card in a lot of decks, but there are decks that can play around it and have counterplay to it.
Well, I agree. I don't think it's like detrimental to game. I am happy there is rotation in this game, so we don't have Force Throw for the ever, right? But even if it doesn't get suspended, at least it will one day not be part of Premiere, right?
I mean, unless they reprint it.
Yeah, that would be like again, like guys, unless the game gets power crept to such a level that force throw is just another card. But I think it is cool. I agree with you. It's nice to have marquee strong cards, right? And it is very skill testing, which I appreciate a lot from both sides. Like when to do it, like how to line up the perfect force throw, and how to foil your opponent from doing that. The battle ceremony on Sabine is sometimes brutal because you sculpt your turn, and sometimes your future turns around with a certain force throw, right? And then they put the ceremony, like still okay, 1 card for 1, but it's not because you gave up tempo. Sometimes you gave up. You had a plan, and now your plan is foiled because they discard a porg.
Because they discard a Borg.
Yeah. It's like, oh no.
Anyway, Geet, thank you so much. Good luck in your semifinal match, and we'll keep bringing you the content. Again, thank you guys all for tuning in. I don't know who's here. I don't know what's going on. We're streaming. We're casting. We're having a good time. Because remember, you got to have fun playing this game. We're here to play games. We're here to have a good time. And again, if you haven't been watching, or if you have been watching, whatever it is, I have 7 rounds worth of content, worth of games recorded. I'm going to be posting them. I've got vlogs like I often do at these tournaments. I'll be posting those. I'm going to try to be casting these and doing the games, and I just want to have a good time. And I really enjoy anyone who's watching, anyone who I'm bringing more Star Wars content to. Whatever I can do for the community makes me happy. We'll be right back with the semifinals. Don't go anywhere. All right. I've got this. I've got that. Hello, everybody. Let me put my face back on it because I like looking at my own face. And hey, there we are. All right. We have James from Swamp Squadron.
Just find the Hulk section and hang out with that.
Where are you guys from? Swamp Squadron? Tallahassee. Yeah, more Squadron with an N. And then we have Riley. We got this, we got that, we got no score. This is the semifinals. We have boom cam audio, but it's low. I'm going to keep it low. And otherwise, here we are. All right, George, are you here?
I am here.
Very good. Give me some initial thoughts and commentary on Sabine ECL versus Boba Data Vault, and I'm going to sign off from over here and join you in the casting booth or something.
Cool. By casting booth, you mean the Hulk section. Let's go. All right. So, Sabine ECL versus Boba Data Vault. It'll be a fun one to see where the Sabine gets their ECL value from. There has been a trend recently for people who run the frigate, a 5.5 MC frigate to give a little bit of overwhelm damage while value creating a unit. We'll see if he is on that bit of tech. And Sabine player. Let's see if he respects the matchup. The Sabine is still on a 25 health base, so Boba Data Vault, if you don't respect it, can come out of nowhere with a little full damage planetary environment and blow you up. So we'll see if that plays out in this matchup. Also, a fun little play style note from this Boba Data Vault, who did take out, I think this is the one that's got Reflex in the top 8, is he very much likes his invisible hand. So he's an invisible hand gamer who, ramp an invisible hand, get that value back, and go to town. So, the Hulk section is also the Star Wars section, so that's cool. Got some Star Wars comics over here. Big selection over here. Reviewing each other's deck lists. It is a little bit of a game of, do you have the health pool to absorb the indirect damage as well? One kind of thing is Sabine kind of has a default setting of like, oh, you can just delete their leader flip, right? Whether it's Poe ECL, whether it's Wrecker ECL, like you kind of always have that in your back pocket. In this matchup, however, you do get to avoid that. So you do get to flip up to space and go to town. So I think it's probably Kobe. You do still have Guy up there for the names. I assume he's sorting that out. Yeah, of course. One thing Sabine does not like to see is above 30 health base. So makes those for cause finisher is a little bit less effective when you have that extra health. But again, Sabine packs a punch. Lots of high damage units, and we'll see if that's enough to count to 33 faster than Boba Data can count to 25. I don't have another earbud. I know. I'm jank. I only have one. You have a gift. We have their deck list, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty. So for being ECL, did you respect Boba going into today? We're on bombing runs and Sundari Peacekeeper and open fire side. So lots of potential in this matchup post side war for the Sabine player. We'll talk about that later. But no frigate. So didn't go that far. Usual suspects in space, your Phoenix, your all your A wings, the wing leaders, the Red 5 and Sabine's masterpiece. So to me, it looks like this person made a little bit of a head in this control matchup. We have three main deck Chewbacca, three main deck Luke Skywalker. So, and gearing your Sabine deck to heat out control is a pretty good decision here in the Orlando area. Lots of control by heart. And we are off to the races. Sabine unit coming down. Turn one for Sabine. And we have we have those Invisible Hand Synergy cards. Little series officer. Getting 2 damage in even when it dies. So, puts. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Need to see some things.
Share new device.
Colby's buds. You can go damn right on here and on this. Well, let me do 2 audio sources, but we'll find out. Oh, use those? Okay.
Jeez. Just let me activate. 3%. Do you still have audio?
Mic check.
Okay. Let's keep talking.
Okay. We have the Boba player who is a invisible hand.
What do you think of the invisible hand version of this list?
I think just having that for damage is exactly the right choice, especially like a meta full of 28 base. You're super happy. Turn 2 happening.
So how is this Boba player going to deal with Sabine and the flood of units? Because that's what Sabine does. She gets an extra unit with 5 health on turn 3. And do you have the 4 strokes? Do you have what are the options there? Open fire? You have the 4 strokes. Okay, so the OB off of the fire spray is a good play, but you really have to go 2 turns without without your leader. Okay. Oh, but he had the resupply.
Yes.
Okay. And now the OB is going to clean up the rest. And the question is, did it still says Gee? You shouldn't say Gee. You shouldn't say Gee. It's not Gee.
Oh, climb.
Rebel Assault. 8 to base.
Is this working? Is the audio coming through?
I'm coming through now. So if you're switching over earbuds, we can both talk.
Hello, hello. Check.
I think you're coming through.
All right.
Oh wait, we're both on the same phone. Yeah,
we are.
yeah.
We're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing the thing. Okay, good job, us. All right, we got there. So in the meantime, while we were getting the headset figured out, we're on the game too. We're good commentators.
So turns out playing resupply into the board clear of the Boba Fett player is enough with the 33 health base to take this game. Yes?
Yeah, that was he was looking for 8 damage. Because he didn't have any damage on at that point. I hit the officer, so there was some damage. There was some big damage.
What I find interesting is that, you look back to set 1 and set 2 at this game, it was a very principled thing to not resupply against a Sabine player. Now, we have this list where, what is it about this list that lets you resupply in the face of Sabine, which shouldn't be possible? Is it the meta? Is it the deck? Is it the base?
It's a 33 health base. Yeah,
it is the base.
Like, I mean, I think if we were racing and like, obviously, Boba's flip does have an immediate board impact, and it's in huge damage, right? So it's both. Like, it's not like you have to flip the leader, attack the leader into a unit. It's you flip the leader, get to kill a unit, and get to attack base. It's back then the benchmark was, oh, if I resupply, I can flip my leader immediately, get my tempo back, and get your board or whatever. Maybe you pair with the OB like in back in the day. Here he's going way past that. We're like, we get my OB just because I flip, and I get to deal 10 damage with my swing.
And you're all that much closer to winning because you've been dealing all this indirect damage as you go. I love the way that this Boba Fett is worded, because anytime you deal any non-combat damage, you can play the crack shot B-wing and hit yourself. You can deal the ups, you can deal damage to base, to units.
You can parsing and like deal indirect damage for free. Like, there's so many crazy interactions.
They really made this card cool. And I remember when it was announced, it's like, oh, you only get to do 4 damage, but the impact of the extra stats you get and the damage, not to mention the fire spray. It is cool to see Boba Fett in the spotlight. We haven't seen that leader. We haven't seen Boba Fett.
Well, yeah, little Boba Fett ever good.
No, but I love that the good characters are good.
Yeah. I think it's cool to see him find a home with the data vault list in this really competitive meta. I think people saw Boba and they're like, oh, he's the burn leader, and you just burn with him, and it's like, is burn a good strategy for the game? Is that what you want? Sure, maybe not. There's arguments both ways.
Indirect burn shouldn't be this good, but turns out Boba Fett makes it just good enough because he is so flexible in how he does it. It's kind of like how Boba Fett 1 was. He was good in any style of killing things. This Boba, any version of dealing damage gets him his ability, so it lets you be really flexible with how you build. A card I want to highlight in the Boba deck is the Dornian Gunship. I was not as high on that card as I have seen it, being that 4/6 in space, immune to Fel the Dragon, and being that perfect platform for Boba Fett. I never made that match, but the meta has decided, and the meta has shown, even just dealing 1 indirect damage plus Boba's, it's good enough.
Well, it's 2 damage, right? Yeah, it's 2 indirect damage.
Right.
So, no, yeah, having played it, and especially because it's a natural follow-up to Udram. Right. When you resupply, it's not Dorian Gunship on turn 4, Dorian Gunship on turn 3.
Right.
Which is a huge difference. So we're starting game 2. We got a Pride and we got a A-Wing. Yep, goes to Bean Ping. So we have
3/4 Super Lizard.
this is what's the Bean player. Is that creating power doesn't come on turn 3, sir. Alright, we got a Pride. So Funny thing about Pride is when indirect damage gets put on a unit. Are we past? No, he claims. Okay. Interesting. So now indirect damage, he can't put it onto A-Wing because Pride will defeat the upgrades. So, fun little bit of text there on our friend Legion General. And another fun thing about the dance here with Legion General, this was back in Django as well. When you're in that situation of do you claim or do you attack, you can always just claim because now you have more options, right? He only attacks for 2 damage. Okay, very cool. So he attacks the Legion of Pride, 2 damage to his opponent, 1 damage with the Boba to kill his super attack. So very nice bit of attack there.
You gotta love when you're throwing your own Boba damage at yourself to kill your own unit to get the ramp.
He knows what he wants.
It's a nice piece of tech in the deck.
Yep. Yeah, the 6 cost ships are really strong, so it's interesting to see the Sabine player focusing on space this game and seeing the Boba player and be like, "What's a spaceship?"
Where has the ECL hit yet?
ECL's not hit, no.
So that's, I think, one of the dangerous things when you're trying to play the ground game. Sabine lulls you into the sense of security. It's like, oh, I can play the ground game and dominate ground. Wreck your ECL, Poe ECL, still Boogeyman, still there. Right? There's not any Sentinels in this deck, in this Boba deck.
No. So you have a Sabine, they have a double 2-drop as a Yoda's lightsaber. So that is coming in for a 6 damage.
I like the pivot that some decks are making to Yoda's lightsaber. Getting that 3 health from the Darksaber really matters, but having the extra cost flexibility.
The extra unit. We don't have to run as many, there were General's Blade Enjoyers there for a minute, but you have to run like 1 cost, right?
Right.
And you're like, okay, if my combo's gonna get a line up on the 4 resource turn, if I want to play like R2 or whatever, like, as a platform for Rebel Synergy and such, like there's cost there. It's not really cost with Yoda's lightsaber. You're like, I'm gonna play more 2-drops. Oh, okay. I got more mulligans like this already. Like, yeah, you can see decks with like 14 2-drops nowadays. So now they, the old like, oh, the Sabine deck lost it and play turn 1. Not really a thing in the set 5 meta game.
So the question again is, does the Sabine player have enough pressure, have enough damage to win the game before the Boba Fett player overwhelms them?
I mean, this Wingling is gone. This A-Wing slapped them for 10 damage plus 6 damage from Sabine. So.
Is it enough?
And it's only 16 damage, which is only half health. So.
And if you have 9 health left because you're running ECL, that feels like within reach, but it's still, not even halfway there. It's,
But like, OB is not going to do anything here, right?
Right.
Invisible hand, okay. Find a droid.
OB off Invisible Hand, or just, I guess the Boba Fett doesn't kill the A-Wing. Or the Sabine.
Boba Fett kills A-Wing if he finds the droid. That destroys an upgrade.
Oh, the dirt droid.
Yeah.
Did he find it? What did he find?
All I can see is a little light
streak.
Yeah, it's a little rough. I don't see anything, so I'm gonna guess it's an HK. That is, I think that's whatever. It had no immediate board impact. It's not a Viper probe.
There's only 1 spot of glare. I checked the whole board. There's only 1 spot of glare on the whole thing, and that's for the left player.
100%. That's right where they put it.
No, it's how it is.
It's not
Hold
on. I think it's HK. All right, Colby's gonna go investigate. Okay, so officer's down.
It's HK. Just died and it's HK.
I might say it definitely wasn't an officer. I didn't think it was probe, so because he didn't destroy an upgrade, so it was HK.
It's just so much damage. And when I'm playing against Boba Fett, it feels like that old meme in Magic where it says math is for blockers.
It definitely has that vibe.
If you play Planetary Bombardment and you're like, I don't know, you figure it out. Right? Every time you tap on it's like, all right, you figure it out.
I think
that's it.
the Boba Fett killed him. Boba Fett didn't even attack. I think this is game 3.
You want to get through? Let me find it.
This is game. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, that wing leader A-wing was just going to town.
Game 3. Can I make a small
No,
little?
it's definitely game 3. Yep.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
It
that
will help
wing
the
leader,
glare.
that 5 damage every turn
The
from
glare happens
A-wing
right
just went ham.
Keep
here.
units
Nice
away.
gave his lightsaber there for a little bit of burst as well. So hit on both fronts. And yeah, even though we had a Boba flip for a 10 damage invisible hand, it was not readied. So yeah, the cool Helio super laser tag play was not enough.
All right, I've let them know about the glare, but I wanted to briefly talk about how great this meta is. Again, fourth row feels bad, and the decks feel powerful. But look at the top cut. It is Hantu Blue, it is Vader Pilot, it is Sabine, it is Boba Fett. These are the top meta decks, and it feels like they're well represented. We've seen Talzin, we've seen Anakin, we've seen Crispy he bubbled out, and what was he playing? He was on Boss Blue.
Yeah.
We've seen Iden Data Vault. It really feels like there are decks all over the spectrum that you get to play in this format. I think that's so cool for the game right now. Like, I go to a tournament, I'm prepping for a thing, and I say, I don't know what I want to play because everything is so diverse. Yeah, that's a good feeling.
Yeah, I think it gives you a lot more edge to players who understand their deck into a wide field. It's not just rock paper scissors. I won the matchup roulette. I win. You know, it's how well do you understand how your deck does versus these various matchups. So it's very very rewarding in that sense, I think.
All right, so we're into game 3. That's the droid bomber. That's the Vanguard droid bomber.
Yes, the 2/2. Whenever you have separate, he deals 2 damage.
And he chooses to hit it into Sabine's the A-wing.
Yeah.
And I love this play because it leaves less places for the indirect damage to go. It's not damage to base, but it might as well be. Oh, look. And it gets you in range of this open fire without losing your unit. Now the Vanguard droid bomber is trade for this wing leader. This is huge for.
And he's still doing damage to base because open fire triggers Boba.
Man, and like this is a dream start for the Boba Fett player. George, I'm gonna ask my question again.
Okay.
How does Sabine player being down this big play? What can they do to make it back?
So we're resupplying. Okay. I mean, Yoda's lightsaber is going to be huge here. So one resource open. I don't. Is he uncomplicate? I doubt it. There's no way you're uncomplicate and probe droid. That'd be crazy.
No way.
It's on Fang Fighter, and
it's weird because the probe droids kill all the lightsabers and all the shields and the experience tokens in the format, but there's been named lightsabers which are less common. But Sabine is playing them right now.
Oh, it's unique. Yeah.
Right.
Unique,
there's so many things that it does kill in the format. So this Vanguard droid bomber somehow getting damage on base and not trading with the wing leader. Strange.
Well, he killed the Phoenix. It ended up being great for him because he killed the Phoenix.
He did that with the open fire though.
No, he killed the Green Squadron A-wing with the open fire after he got buffed with wing leader. The Sabine played a Phoenix Squadron, and then he killed it with the.
So instead of, and we don't see we don't see Yoda's lightsaber. We do see that the Sabine player just flip and gets a bunch of units out, and the Boba Fett player plays a relatively slow turn of 2 indirect damage. Seems kind of good. Is the Sabine player putting any damage on Sabine from this indirect, or is he putting it all to the base?
This is all base. He's giving lots of options for the Boba flip. The Boba flip's gonna happen. Like it's gonna come in and deal 4 damage. If you put it on Sabine, that gives him the chance to kill Sabine.
Sure.
But now it's gonna be Sabine unit and wing leader. Yep. So if you put it on Sabine leader, he gave his. This is the classic, methods for blockers kind of moment you're talking about, where it's kind of like, yes, the Sabine player has the choice of where to put the indirect damage, but either way, it's fine.
But now there's 5 HP, which could be 2 or 3 life. Basically, by not taking any of the damage on Sabine, now the Boba Fett player doesn't have that choice to make. You could have put, in this scenario, you could have put 2 or 3 of that damage on Sabine, and it would have been fine, right? If you have 5 health between Sabine leader and Sabine unit, then it's still a hard choice, and you save the extra health from that choice. These are very narrow lines, and I think that if you see the Boba Fett player winning the game by dealing enough damage, and the Sabine player has anything more than 1 health on their unit, that is suboptimal play. Again, out for blockers.
And OB is still a card, like you. I mean, does this die to an OB 10 damage? Yes, it does. So
wow, huge. Like it's amazing that
he didn't play OB, but I was saying,
but this is still a deck that can play resupply in the face of Sabine on the flip turn. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like that is not a thing that we have seen in this game, and the Boba Data Vault. It seems so powerful in doing so because it has the free. You can play resupply to play this 4 damage OB. As long as you have a platform for Boba Fett.
Oh, Craving Tower. Okay, not OB, but Underwhelming Barrage. Yes.
I still like that card.
Shout out to
big number. Big.
Okay.
Still big number. So, as a Sabine player, if you're seeing, if you're playing Sabine out there, and you're running into this problem that you can't get the 32 damage, 33 damage before Boba Fett comes out, and everything flips, and you take all this indirect damage, and you lose the game. What text cards can you add to your deck to, like?
Well, way too fast. Yep.
Yeah, Boba Fett has 10 power now.
Yep.
Right, and you just turn sideways. So, what is it about the Sabine list? Is it not fast enough? Is it not controlling enough? Is it doesn't have enough health on its units? What can the Sabine player do?
33 is a big number.
Does it invalidate Sabine? This was the semifinal. This is a good player is playing a good match.
Yeah. I mean, that's a tale as old as time, right? Like people play other aggro decks and they're like, "Oh, I need Sabine for that one ping." Like the 8 health difference is just absolutely massive, and the fact that Boba kind of invalidates ECL, like with the ability to not play ground in some lines, like it's hard. I mean, we did see the Sabine take a game, of course, but that was just a wing leader scam that I felt with tails all the time. All right, let's go see if G is reported. G is still playing. The report is a draw. That's weird. Whatever.
This button. All right, I'm back with James. James, that was a tough matchup. Come on in.
All right, where do I sit? Right
Come on
here?
and get comfy.
All right,
Check.
Testing.
Hey, James. All right, so tough matchup. Tell me, how did your run feel today? How did the deck run? What did you learn from the tournament today?
Oh, it's kind of hard to describe. I was expecting a lot more of Vader Yellow, and like most of my sideboard's been dedicated to that. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm not gonna play him today. So like that kind of sucked. But it's like it's still good in other matchups. But like it was like bombing run was completely useless today because I never got to play, and that's the one thing it's in.
So when you say you're afraid of Vader Yellow, you think you have a bad matchup into space decks, right? And I find it's interesting because one, whatever you did in your sideboard, if it wasn't meant for Vader Yellow, it still worked out, right? You still had a great run, and you still did excellently at this tournament. And ultimately, you lost to a deck that runs pilots and space units. So how would you make adjustments to your deck, to your play, or really just don't get paired up into the bad matchups and it'll be fine? What would you do differently?
I think I wish I ran more upgrade hate in hindsight.
Sure.
I think that's what I needed. You got good audio.
No, you're good.
So I think that's what I wrote was lacking today was the upgrade hate overall. So
We were looking for that confiscate, and I sometimes wonder, is confiscate or Fang Fighters enough to, or even Kit Fisto's Aether Sprite? You could run the 4/5. I think it's too late, but is that enough to actually win the matchup? Is the upgrade hate the problem? Or is there some other tool, or don't bring the bad matchup? Is 33 too big of a number?
yeah, well, I think it's one of those things when you like run it for a certain like archetype, it's got to compound off of each other. So like one thing I tell my friends is like that 1 percentile means the difference because in an actual game you don't draw 50 cards unless you're playing like some super control deck. You're drawing like maybe 20 cards. So it's like, hey, like when you play a game, just draw like if you drew like the top 20 cards and think like if I played with that, how would I do? So that's how I like to think is like you just can't have one version of upgrade hate, which is like all I really had because I wasn't expecting it that much. But it's got to compound off of each other.
That's spoken like a true aggro player. If you talk to a control player, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I play with every card in my deck every game," right? And really, you're right. With the Sabine decks, you really are trying to get the entire game over with as soon as possible. You're trying to really blitz through that deck. So, anyway, great run. Do you have any other thoughts about the meta, about the tournament? Tell me more about Swamp Squadron. I haven't seen you guys' jersey before.
Okay,
This is super
so-
cool. I love another Florida team.
All right, so yeah, we're pretty new. We're out of Tallahassee. We've got a Discord server. Okay, we're pretty based.
Yeah?
So we didn't have the jerseys in Vegas, but most of us we had a good showing in Vegas.
How many of you are there here?
We got 4 or 5 of us
How many are
here.
here from Swamp Squadron today?
Total today, we had 7.
We had 7.
players, that's
Okay,
awesome.
yeah, we had 7. Yeah. So we had a good showing here. Me and Riddler, we made it top 8. So we're happy that we got there. We just gotta get everyone else with us.
And that's amazing. As a part of the Bothans, we have a big team, and we're national, we're international, and but we started with local Floridians, local, Frank's from I think South Carolina, or we're all from the Southeast, right? And we've grown to that. So it's really great to see other teams forming from local metas. And when you come and you can get 7 people out here, that shows a lot of support. So it's great to see you guys. Shout out to Swamp Squadron. Go find their Discord. How can we find you? Google Swamp Squadron or something? Someone from Swamp Squadron should post a link in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, I got you.
Right?
I'll send you something. Wait, I got a Boston question.
Please hit me.
What's with the red jerseys?
With the red jerseys?
Yes, I see
Okay.
blue and I see red. I was like, okay, is this a ranking system?
So if you look at George's jersey over there, George has the red and the gold. The gold is because he's won a PQ or a tournament with more than I think 64 players, like 8 rounds or whatever. If you win a big tournament, you can get a gold jersey. I won one of those, but I haven't bought the gold jersey yet. I'll get one eventually or something. I don't know. And I think we're actually gonna have new jerseys for the next season. But really, the colors are because at the Boston Invitational, we have team events. And if you want to have multiple team events, you got to have multiple team identities. So you have the purple one, the red one, the gold one, Speaking of Boston Invitational, if you all didn't know, there is another Boston Invitational. Beatle 2 is happening this November 15th, that weekend. It's in Atlanta again, sponsored by Cards HQ. I got to tell you that Frank is going all out, and Cards HQ is helping us make this a really incredible event. The last one was fantastic. This one's going to be fantastic. Go to the Boston Discord, and that's where you can find all the tickets. If you want to join the Boston Discord, there's a QR code right there. Right there. That's the QR code. All right. But thank you. Thank you, James. Fantastic game, fantastic run, fantastic team. Great to meet you. Great to meet you all. And good luck in your next adventure.
Thank you so much, Rap.
Meanwhile, our next adventure will be the finals of this matchup. Do you know who won? Who won that game?
Which over there?
It's-
They're still going.
It's still going. Oh my goodness. It is going to be either Guy, which we just saw play in the semifinals on Han 2 Blue Force, or I don't know his name, but he's running Vader yellow, that the pilot deck that James wished you could play against. So sometimes the matchups don't follow your way. So we're going to see that matchup. We'll have it right here. We'll cast it. We'll commentate it. We're going to vibe with it again, and we're going to have a great time. See y'all soon. All right, we are back. We are here with the finals. We have Han. We don't have Han. We have Boba. We have Boba Pilot. We have Vader Pilot. Set 4 pilots in the Orlando Kissimmee PQ. Who's seeing it coming? I'll get the list. Me and George will start casting, and we'll make it happen. All right. Good luck, everyone. Let me set this up for me and George to cast. Ooh, not that one.
The DRK? That is not Vanguard. Vanguard droid bombs. No, that does. That's the Sept. 2 to base if you control a separatist unit. It's a 2-2. Is the Forged Starfighter the 1-1 hidden? Forged Starfighter? Yeah. Maybe. I can take a peek. Forged Starfighter. Yeah, 1-1 hidden. Grade 1. Domain gunship? It's a 4/6 capital ship. When played, deal indirect damage with the number of space units you control. It's number of space units. You don't get to choose. It is just indirect. Yeah. There's another one that's like, it does indirect, but you get to choose where it goes. That's the Devastator. That's the Devastator? Yeah. Yeah.
Time, gentlemen. Congrats on making the finals. There's what you're playing for. First place. You will have 75 minutes. You probably won't need it, but it is a time event. And you guys can go Jeremiah higher seed, so you can choose which. Now I feel bad that I didn't make you sleeves. It's not Lurkana stance. Something busted about this.
All right, mic
Hey,
check.
doing it.
We are live. Oh, sorry. Let me not this you. Say something again?
Double check.
You're good. Anyway, the finals of the Kissimmee PQ. Got Battle of the Space Decks. This is fun because we would just have the Sabine be like, man, I was so ready for Vader Yellow, and now just one difference.
Seeing 2 set 4 leaders in the finals of a set 5.
Yep, and there's not gonna be any voicemails. I can tell you that much right now. Oof. I'm gonna say they're both fixed deploy leaders. Boba flipping, killing 4 units versus Vader flipping and producing 2 units. I haven't played this matchup for this is off the cuff. So, mhm. Okay. Oh yeah. hmm I mean, I think Victor later dies. I think the Boba Neck's going to ramp more than likely, right? In most versions of this, um, maybe it's an open fire on turn 2 to kill a Victor leader, but like I think the Boba deck wants to ramp, and whew, I got a TIE bomber showing up, so that's going to represent 4 offensive pressure. Yeah, we'll see. We know this Boba Dayball player does like his ramp, so we'll see if he does it here. And we also have a similar situation where he can do the Boba leader to kill his own super laser attack.
In the base and do 4 indirect damage.
I don't think Robert's going to. Actually,
We're on the blue. I mean, so you're asking for my network connection?
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Okay, sure. All right, solo show. Another dull moment with Colby around, that's for sure. So we've got damage going on to the Y Wing, keeping the droid friend healthy, and taking 2 damage. So this is not a super laser tech line. Oh, that's a beautiful eager escort, getting that value trade. Actually doing a thing about Lena Lashes and pivot to Lando as they option to defend against the SpaceX. So I took it out though, only Kylo, just for old time's sake. But yeah, we are seeing a rise in SpaceX. So considering this attack with Y-Wing is going to base. He's disrespecting that droid missile platform. So right. So now we are presenting what is this? 7 damage versus 4. So we'll see what the Boba player decides to do.
I'm gonna kill Eager Escort and do 3 indirect damage.
He is going to trade. They're both representing for them. So it's a huge thing that the Boba player does want the game to go longer. So a taking 4 damage off your opponent's board does play into that game plan. The Raider deck. Many card advantage options, and obviously the value of Invisible Hand is insane. So I was talking about how we had a trade with the Droid Missile platform into the Eager Escort fighter. So both similar attack. Obviously the missile platform, both of them have very little health. And we have a nice clean open fire to kill the Victor leader. So
I think that really favors.
for sure, yeah.
For Daring Raid in the Droid Starfighter.
You don't get any audio from you? This is the same. Okay. Oh, okay. Alrighty. It is. I mean, Discord's lighting up, so whatever that's worth. Let's see if it works when get the VODs out. That'll be fun. One little video to review. Appreciate Codameron throwing this up on his own. Kind of a on the fly kind of situation got going on here. Yeah, loving this daring raid in the last couple games, being able to smooth out the curve while activating Boba, very useful. Especially because the players inherently want to soak some damage on units. It makes that stuff of the daring raid very cleanly. Yeah, got the Dorian gunship, or Dorian. So a little indirect damage there. So it's also a nice way to zone out those 4 health ships, the Sanctuary shuttles, uh, no, the Tides Phantoms of the world. Yeah, so fun interactions here, and it was set 5 via indirect damage. And indirect damage ignores the TIE Phantom text, as it cannot, indirect damage cannot be prevented. So, one interaction I had earlier today was actually using a Devastator, the 8-cost ship, to kill 2 TIE Phantoms. So, by me in a spin cycle. So, we won't see that here because Boba Fett does not deal indirect damage on flip; he deals direct damage on flip. So, clean up all the little guys. Boop 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 boop. Yep. Yep. If you were betting on the Boba Flip dealing with multiple units, you were the winner of this round. He loves his invisible hand. He is slamming it out. So the probe droid does not kill leaders. It's not kill unique upgrades. It's only non-unique upgrades. So, no value there. Okay, so he's taking the card draw from the droid missile platform. Okay, no free unit, but a little bit of value. So I can explain that now. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, like, people on the team know I'm a huge lover of the invisible hand. I just never found a home for it that I liked. Nothing, the commitment of 12 to 15 droids in your deck is a pretty big ask. I think the HK, I think the archetype got a lot of love with the new set, Legends of the Force. Those red droids are very nice. You're heading out. Good seeing you. Hey, Clover. That's more like it. Proud of you, for sure. Heck of a run. That's it, for sure. Oh, what did you end up getting, by the way? What's a two? Oh, you got Twilight? No, you got Legend of the Force, sir. Yeah. That's fun. All right, man. Have fun. Good to see you again. Alrighty. Now, it's Gencon, longtime flesh and blood friend of mine. He came up today and Crusher got top 4. So, had a little bit of a matchup. We matched up around 4, and I gave that to him. So, yeah, lots of Bothans in this area. So, lots of friends for sure. Yeah, Vader flipping to the ground. So, there's 15 damage on our Boba Friend's base. That is still no good to be deaded. Okay, so we're coming in for 10 damage. I don't think that's. Let's go both. Okay. Oof. Yeah, no good for me dead. It is not a permanent solution. While it is a very good card, you still have to. You still have to win the game before the card untaps, and it is a tall order in the situation. Yeah, you are. Especially the Vader deck, you definitely want to have that overwhelming pressure in the beginning and have the game over by 6 or 7. It is not a deck with a lot of card advantage options, or much of a late game pivot. While this invisible hand is going to keep getting free value, and we're going to disrespect the Phantom. That's the power of the 33 health base, right? Like he's not sweating a surprise strike or nice. Well, extra 2 damage there. Yeah, he has a little bit of cushion. And that puts we are not in 2 action check. We're still at 3 action check. Yeah. Colby's doing some work. Yeah, one of the things about the Invisible Hand that I really enjoyed was the fact that it was like you could play any droid from any aspect, right? So you could run things like the Separatist Droid Bomber out of aspect, right? Because back in the day, it was all Triple Dark Raid. Right? Triple Dark Raid, Invisible Hand. It was all yellow decks, but especially in those kind of decks, you could surprise strike Invisible Hand and deal 11 damage. Um, and develop another unit, like some crazy stuff. But yeah, we're seeing a little bit of life come back to the Invisible Hand. All right, so he chose to attack with it first because it gives him a little decision points, right? Does he get the Separatist Bomber? Does he put his opponent in check immediately? He got it. So now he has to answer this during gun script, and I can tell you right now, looking at his hand, he does not have it. So that is going to be game one for our off the back of some Separatist Droid Bombers, getting them across the finish line. Yep, nice ornament on the board there. Boop. Coming for 8. He's just like, that's it. Yeah, saw this. Riley at the collective PQ a few weeks ago, rocking Poe ECL. So definitely enjoying his space arena warfare in this meta. So very very comfortable sort of space for him. Yeah, the Separatist Droid Bomber coming in clutch right there. Good stuff. So we're sideboarding. What kind of sideboarding decisions are we making? A lot of people have anti-space stuff in their sideboard. Well, funny thing is, a lot of the anti-space stuff involves hurting your own space. So we won't see too much of that. We're not going to see. I don't think we're going to see any bombing runs out of Boba or anything crazy like that. Actually, listen. Oh, speaking of devil, we have the deck list right here. So let's see. For our Vader player, we have Scimitar. It's a fun little anti-tech against bombing run. We have Confiscate. Oh, say goodbye to Boba Flip. Stolen AT Hauler. Swoop down was useless. And Scuttle. Good. All right. If we're both Fett players, we got the. For our Boba Fett players, we have the disabling Fang Fighter and the Grenade Strike coming in. So, I think the pivot to Grenade Strike is absolutely correct. I think Bothans for Galactics, everyone's hyping up bombing run as a Vader counter, but I think um, the flexibility of Grenade Strike, especially in Boba, because you have everybody wanting to put a little bit of damage here, a little bit of damage there on their units, and the Grenade Strike comes in and whoop, gets you across the finish line as far as removing those units. So. Alrighty. Do, 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 do. Okay, we are shuffling. Cards are in. Sideboards are done. Where will the cards lie? Shall see. Yeah, one thing with this matchup is a lot of decks really struggle to deal with with Vader's like go wide sort of token strategies, but uh, this deck is very well equipped to deal with it. In between Overwhelming Barrage, in between the Boba Flip, so lots of punishes there.
They're trying to get to me. That round is over. No, they got sealed PQs now too.
We are back. Welcome back. Okay, team is going. All right, we got a Y wing and a separatist. We've seen this movie. Oh, and we're gone, and we're back. Fun. All right, it is a Y wing into no additional unit, so only one cost for our Vader player. So not ideal. We'll see where it goes from here. He does have initiative though, so it's possible he just really wanted that token value. He definitely get that attack in, go into base. So Vader is online. And we are also going to base. Two damage from the separatist destroyed bomber. Yep, we're going to go ahead and start off with the token. It's going to be signaling a sanctioner shuttle. Could be just a dirtle. There's a wing there. There's a sanctioner shuttle. Yep. As predicted. He's open firing. So very heads up pass from our Boba player. This is one thing I talk about with passing. When you play a deck where you know you can outvalue your opponent, and it's obvious to your opponent, you have a lot of sequences that are open to you. That's an example, right? Like I think you could fairly easily read the Sanctuary Shuttle there. That's what he wanted to do. That was a possibility. So yep, being able to pass, see what he does, and then counter it. Very nice. Obviously, the punish there is for there's still an HE hauler, but not how that worked out. Obviously, that card has a fair bit of risk in this matchup. Usual, story of the Vader player being able to negate the downside of the HE hauler, whether it's by bouncing it back to their hand and capturing it. It is true, but that kind of stuff needs you to have tokens sacrificed. And the scimitar came out of the sideboard, so we're seeing some sideboard tech. I'm pretty sure we're gonna happily put a little bit of indirect damage on that scimitar and carry on for our day. Very nice. Very creative use of the scimitar. Obviously, I think it's primarily a bombing run counter. I think is what the goal is. But obviously, it has other utilities. So I'm gonna put 2 damage onto the Y-wing. Excellent. Yeah, long day. Do-do-do-do. Mm. Excuse me. Ending his Boba. We're sandbagging that no good to me dead. Very nice. Ready for that Boba flip. Again, we have 31 more damage to deal, and we are visiting a fairly even board. Oh, very nice. Eager Square Fighter to kill that Fence Fire Spray. Something I was very much looking at going into this week. I think the card is very well positioned against these Boba decks, Space decks in general. So, very nice use the card. Also, a little bit extra synergy with Vader, being a card that lets you activate Vader from an empty board. So, very nice. People were saying Dorian Gunship was only a 1 damage thing. We'll watch it deal 3 damage. Let's go. Little did they know. 9 damage straight to base. Got 2 damage. Hmm. Yeah, which card is he going to play that's going to die to Boba Flip? That's the question. Oof. Okay. All right. Here we are. This is the game. Got that Maul in hand. They're keeping them all. We're sandbagging Maul. All right. He's optimistic. Oh, good. Yep. Hmm. Yeah, he says 7 stack body on ground. 7 stack, 6 body on ground. Let's go. We did see Vader hit the ground last game, so I think that's the call. See if he can get the Vader to flip the ground again. Which I think it's super heads up, but we'll see if that's reality. Yeah, that is clean. 6 damage kills everything. So, so he knows the Vader's gonna flip the ground. Okay, never mind. I didn't see the LB. So, yep, all very clean line right there. Now the mall setting up for the Vader value trade, and I think this is all. I think we're seeing the value of the Boba deck take over here. We have a Boba flip to deal with any units. We have this no good to me dead, but no good to me dead doesn't win the game. So, We'll see if he does a repeat of last game where he went onto Dorian Gunship. Obviously, I think he was the only option last time. So he just he did just attack. So this is a really common strategy Vader players use to diversify their threats. So they will opt to put pilot leaders. They'll opt to put their pilot leaders onto a weaker unit in order to force multiple forms of removal out of their opponent. So, you know, yep, yep, you're good. See you there, man. Good to see you. Huh? Yeah, fair. Get the good karma going. Righty. So, the attacking with the Separatist bomber was the green light to play the um, TIE Phantom, and the No Good to Me Dead came out on the leader Boba. So, 14 damage on our Boba player's deck, base, 17 damage on our Vader leader's base. So, of course, we know. Oh, first action, get the damage in. He does not care about killing that Vader. He is fine. This Maul will represent. I'm sorry, did we? Oh, I think he was just pointing out the no good to be dead from last turn. Okay. I really like this little bit of there's a little bit of table maintenance of the putting the no good to me dead card completely upside down. It's a nice way to signal that it's not just exhausted for this turn, but it's also exhausted for the following turn. Because as you ready, it's kind of exhausted. So, do really like the little bit of signaling there. We are thinking. So, ready Vader, ready Phantom. And Phantom does die to the TIE Bomber, but this Boba does not seem to be interested in trading. He knows the face is the place. We have a planetary bombardment for 12 damage. That is indirect damage. So remember, the effect of Phantom does not protect him from that. No. Best case scenario is 7 damage on units and then 5 damage on base for our Vader player. Yep. No, 6 damage, sorry. Oh, he only put 5 damage onto Vader Leader, not 6 damage. Interesting. Oh, yep, on ground. Never mind. Yep. That makes sense. Yep. I think we're just seeing the value game of Boba play out here. Yeah, this is when I set up. Now he has the Maul. Even if our Vader player had another No Good to Be Dead or another out waylay of the kind, the Maul ambush onto Vader Leader. There's the waylay. So just as he wrote up in the books, we have a nice juicy 1 health Vader Leader on the ground is about to get mauled to death. So very heads up, excellently played by our Boba player. I do not think this game will be long for the books. I don't see them all in hand, but like, yeah, there it is. Well, you the Boba's ready because the nobody does the turn before. Yep. All right. There it is. And congratulations to Riley. I know he made the finals of the last PQ and showing up again to win the Coliseum and ending the Boston streak. We have won every single PQ in this neighborhood. So
George, great commentary, and yeah, what a crazy game. What a good run by Riley. You can really see his mastery with this list and the threats that this Boba deck really puts out. It was really tough for the Vader player to even gain any ground, and then his board was gone. So yeah, really fantastic. Great job, Riley. Congratulations on winning this PQ. Really tough field, really scary thing, and yeah, all the Bothans are here, and
yeah,
he still took it down.
I think we've made the comment, Boba gives your opponent the chance to make mistakes. And I think Riley showed there that there is no correct answer, right? Even if you put damage on your units, he's going to exploit that. If you put your damage on your base, he's going to exploit that. And he's that, so I think, yeah, very, very, very fun game to watch.
Excellent. And thank you, George. I'm going to see what I can. But yeah, George, take us home for a second. Yeah.
All right. Well, that is a little bit of shout outs here, or what are we talking about?
I'm gonna try to get an interview with Riley real quick. Just something real quick to say congratulations.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. While he's getting that set up, it's gonna shout out the Boston Network, our Discord. Check us out on discord.gg/the Boston Network. Check us out. We are on our YouTube for the network.
George, thank you so much. Yeah, and if you're interested in the Boston Network, we got the QR code right here, right there. Anyway, I've got Riley right here.
Ready.
Riley, thank you, George. See you over there in a minute. But otherwise, thank you for doing the casting. Riley, congratulations! Really spectacular work. You got in the finals in the last PQ, and you came back to this one back to back, and you took it down. How do you feel? How has this journey been for you? Here's the mic.
I'm very happy. I was very happy. I was very bummed out when you lose in the finals, but I'm very happy today.
Excellent. I gotta say, your play was expert. You played like an expert. Your play was masterful. You were composed. I was watching you really think through your lines and really putting your opponent in these positions with this deck that he just had no right answer. You really found the correct play lines and the best way to put this deck together and to play it to be worthy of taking on this entire field. Did you learn anything? What is the greatest play that you made today?
Probably when I had 2 TIE bombers on the field against an Iden, and she wasted all her resources playing a walker. So I played Devastator, and I did 5 indirect to base. Then I hit 6 more with the 2 TIE bombers.
Wow. There's so many tools that you see in this list that when you play it at the level that you're playing it at, they really come out and they really shine. Do you have any other notes or anything? We want to congratulate you. Coliseum congratulates you. The Bottoms congratulate you. And really, this is a fantastic victory. Do you have anything else to say to the people who are watching?
Not really.
All right, Riley. Thank you. You're an excellent player. You're a force to be reckoned with, and we'll see you at Worlds now that you've qualified. Congratulations. Thank you, Riley. All right, and with that, we're done. Another PQ in the books. That's a wrap. We'll see the more of the Bothans. We'll see more of the players. We'll see more excellent Star Wars Unlimited content whenever I show up at a place. If there's not a stream and they'll let me stream, I'll bring a stream. But otherwise, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for being a part of the community. Thank you for joining the Bothans. If you haven't already, do it now, or do it soon, or do it when you feel like it. Thank you, George. And just enjoy this game. Play it the way that you love, and may the force be with you. Have a great day, everyone.